Welcome back to the Football Terrace. It's the international break, so the tiering shows are back again. Of course, the original channel that brought you these tiering sessions, they're not going anywhere. We've got an amazing panel tonight for the next hour to go through the best and worst signings so far this season in the Prem. We're primarily focusing on the top 6 clubs. We're throwing a few in there as well that are kind of loosely connected to the top 6 as well. Players that started the season well, etc. We're going to be placing them into these categories that you can see. So the players can go into signing of the season, killing it, played well, average, terrible but will come good, and terrible start will flop. Of course, you can get your super chats in. You know the rules on super chats. You made them. The viewers, you made them not too long ago. And it's simple, £5 to move them up and down one place. £20 anywhere on the board. You can create your own tiers for 50 or more. You don't need to do that. It's completely up to you. But remember, if you do have a super chat, have a guess at our secret phrase. We are giving away a PlayStation 5 or Xbox, whichever your choice is, if you get it right, and a brand new pair of Cristiano Ronaldo's latest Nike football boots in whatever size you want, delivered anywhere in the world that you want. So if you get those super chats in, please have a guess at the secret phrase as well, because I do want you, one of you at least, to win that prize. Let me get you introduced now to our brilliant panel tonight. Man like Dominic here from United Sources with us, ready to go. This is Football Star. I've seen an article about this guy today. Man like the Don is here. Here he is, the most outspoken Liverpool fan on socials. We've also got a wrestling expert in here, but a football expert as well. It's young Louis, who, I don't know if is his girlfriend leaving him. There's a bag by the door. We don't know. Curran is here. Look at that shaved head. I think he's so inspired by me. He's grown a nice tidy beard. He shaved his head off. He wants to be just like Terry Flewers. He really, really does. Someone I want to be like when I grow up, though. Here he is. Have Hope is back in the house, looking slick, ready to go. What is that around your shoulders? Is that your mum's scarf? Is that a towel? What is it? We don't know. We don't know right now. But viewers, smash that like button. It's going to be a bit of fun, a little bit of fun with all the doom and gloom. Well, actually, everyone else who's on his team is not in the doom and gloom, just me and Dom's, really. But doom and gloom of the Premiers aside from us, we're going to have a little bit of a bubble. We're going to have a laugh. Gentlemen, how are we all doing? We good?
Yeah. All good.
Yes,
all good.
Ready to ride, man. Ready to ride, man.
Yes, absolutely. And without any further ado, we're going to jump straight into this. Look at that, the return of HH. Everybody's buzzing that Have Hope's back in the house, ready to do his thing. Wesley Snipes, saying, look like Wesley Snipes.
They're calling me Snipes.
Yeah, that's not a bad. That's not a diss. Wesley Snipes is cool. He was.
No. Probably Blade is the best Marvel film of all time. So yeah.
People forget that was one of the original superhero films, like sort of new ones to be made.
These kids don't know. These kids don't know.
Absolutely. So I'm going to come to you first, Have Hope. I'm going to give you the first pick of the night, and I'm going to give you Chelsea's Conor Gallagher.
I would say played well. Because I think that you can see what he's been doing for Palace, and even like Vieira has even said, he's actually one of the players that he really, really likes. So it's not like he was doing amazing things, but I just think in terms of what he's done for the Palace, because I'm conflicted either between average or playing well. But I do believe that for Palace and so forth, I'm gonna edge just towards playing well for Palace. I'm going to say playing well. I mean, look, put it this way: he's doing more than that bomb Saul for Chelsea, who Chelsea wasted their time on. So there you go.
And we'll get onto him later. A lot of people in the comments are saying killing it, but we'll come back to him. Yeah, I mean, I would have said killing it. I think he's doing an amazing job.
He's got four goals and 2 assists for Crystal Palace. Like, what more do you want to do?
My standards are high. My benchmark is high.
Clearly not. You were speaking on mute at the start, so it's just. It's a howler already. You've started with a howler already. Have Hope. We've been here. We've been here before.
He scored more goals than Lukaku in the league. So if your standards are that high, I'm pretty worried.
My dear friend, you are addressing a UCL winner. If you want to talk to me, address me as the UCL winner, please. Thank you.
So Sorry, you talking about Lukaku? Lukaku?
I said address me as the UCL winner. When have you won? When last did you win the UCL? Thank you.
You're going to have to get used to have hope if you never worked with him before. Curran, I'm coming to you next, my friend, and I'm going to give you, this was the player that was put into the signing of the season in the last international break, Damari Gray.
Ooh. Well, he started really well, didn't he? So I would say playing well as well. I think he started off electric, and he's not like he's waned off, but he's kind of just plateaued a little bit. I would say playing well for me.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I said this when everybody said signing of the season because he was cheap and he scored them goals. I think my words on the show were, I bet he doesn't score again. I bet he scores like 1 or 2 more goals for the rest of the whole season. It was just like this little kind of purple patch at the beginning of the season, and it all just seemed to like fall away. But yeah, I don't think anybody's going to overtly disagree with that. You put him into, I've got to find him again here. Where is he on my screen? There he is. Average. Did you say average or playing well? Playing well.
Playing well.
He's got 3 goals.
Well.
3 goals, 2 assists. He's doing well.
Yeah. There we go. Dom, I'm coming to you next, bro. And I'm going to give you Patson Daka.
Oh, Jesus have mercy. I don't even know how to spell that brother's name. Patson Daka. Let me think. I'll say he's come up with a few goals, like last minute. Even though he's come on the sub quite a lot. I'll say he's what's the groups again?
So you've got here average, played well.
I'll say played well. He's been quite a good little sub. He's come on and scored some goals as well.
Yeah, he has done well. Like I think he's done all right. Obviously, in the Europa, he scored the 4 goals in however many games. Like you know what I mean? He came on and scored 4 goals in 1 game. Yeah, decent enough player. Played well, pretty good.
Premier League though, so he scored 1 goal. So let's bring it down. We're just starting. Let's do average for now.
Average, okay, fair enough. Hussam, we're coming to you next, my friend, and I'm going to give you Danny Ings.
Oh, Danny Ings. Thing is, you were comparing him to Danny Ings level because he was brilliant for Southampton last season, and I don't think he's actually performed at Danny Ings level. Like, I'm not even trying to compare him to a brilliant striker. His own level, he hasn't matched it, in my opinion. So I'm going to put him in average. That's where I'm going to put Danny Ings.
Average. I think that's fair. Todd Miller here says, what is blue is the color? R.I.P. Alex Chubek. I don't know who Alex Chubek is, but R.I.P. to whoever that person is. And thank you for the super chat, Todd. Louis, your first pick, my friend. I'm going to give you Emerson Royale.
Ooh. Could you flash up the I think he will play well. He will play very well under Conte. I don't know whether terrible will come good is too harsh, but I think average is maybe slightly too generous. Maybe terrible, but will come good because I think he will come good, and he will play well. I just don't think I've really seen anything from him so far. But again, that is under a Nuno team that is going to struggle. And a Conte team will be significantly better, especially one that employs attacking wing backs. I wouldn't be surprised if come the end of the season, Emerson sort of shoots up this list if we do it again. But for now, for the start he's had, I would have to give him, even saying terrible but will come good sounds harsh. I think like if there was one in between that and average, I'd put him in there. But I will put terrible, but will come good.
I will happily say terrible with everybody
with chest.
Terrible and with flop as well. Yeah.
The thing is though, I feel bad saying that because again, it's not his fault. Like the team as a whole has been playing awfully. I don't think individually he has been terrible, whereas the team has been great. But I do think he will definitely come good under contract. But yeah, maybe I will slightly.
And he might come. He might come good. Do you know what I find with him? I think he is one of those standout players who proves that the majority of Premier League fans don't watch European football because he played at Barca and because they'd read a few good scouting reports or he was good on a computer game, I think people hedged their bets and were like, baller, bruv. My G, what a baller. And then they watched him play and went, fuck, fucking it was Brandon Williams. Do you know what I mean? With an exotic name. That's what ends up happening so often with players. A lot of people did it when Alex Telles came in. Alex Telles, oh my days, bro, what a player. I did that. And then you're like, shit, because you just base it on stuff you've read, bits of what you've seen. Who was that dude at Ajax that everybody said is like one of the best left backs in the world? Tagliafico?
Tagliafico. Nico Tagliafico, yeah.
Where the fuck's he?
Still at Ajax.
Ajax, yeah.
So he ain't that good then, is he? Do you know what I mean? Like, how old is he? He ain't 21, 22, is he?
No, Emerson Royal is one of those players.
I think he's 23, 24 or something around there, yes.
Yeah,
he's one of those players that's like on the bench for Palace. That's his level. Do you know what I mean? Like, a few games. It's only been a few games, but I like to look at people when you've got new players and new people in the Premier League. I love to look at, especially with a name like Emerson Royal. Like, it's like freaking Lion King. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I looked at him and he couldn't make a basic pass, couldn't complete it. He looked a bit nervy on the ball. I'm like, I can tell if a player's got that thing in the first couple of touches. I can just tell.
You say that right, but you need to apply context of how bad Spurs were playing. Like, I mean, they sacked their manager within.
Doesn't matter. Individually, he's not been good enough, though.
No,
even if the
okay.
team and
how many guys have been good for Spurs?
Has he shown you one
Let's talk about Kane.
Tell me a Tottenham player that's played well this season.
The young Son.
Yeah, Son's still playing well.
Højbjerg has been fine. Højbjerg has been fine.
Yeah, fine. But no one's played like well.
Yeah,
I mean,
where I agree with Dom though is this is the element of the eye test I look for is that touch. So when Man United were bringing through Young Chong, after 3 games, I said I'm not sold by him. Why? I was like, there's not one moment in any game where I've gone, there's a bit of there's a little bit of talent. I remember when at Liverpool were playing this young fullback a few years ago, like Flanagan. He ain't young anymore, he used to be. And like Liverpool fans are raving. I'm going, this kid is ready salty crisps. Like there's nothing special about him. And Liverpool fans knew it as well. But it was just like, you compare it now to like a Trent coming through. Yeah. But in the early days, they spoke about him in the same way. Like, one of the best young right backs in the country. Yeah. He wasn't. And we could all see it. But there we go. Next pick. It'll be my pick. And I'm going to pick Buendia. I'll pick myself Buendia, and I'm going to have to stick Buendia in terrible. But I'm going to put him in terrible, but will come good. I think there's a talent in there. And I think Arsenal fans especially must look at it and think, thank God we got outbid. At the moment, they must think, thank God we were outbid, outclassed, outworked, outmaneuvered by Aston Villa, because you've ended up dodging a bullet in many ways. He's looked absolute crud. Absolute crud so far this season.
I won't have a bad word about my new second favourite team, Aston Villa, by the way. They will come good.
Yes.
Do you know what? Really
I've
quickly,
got my kit.
Really, what I'm really happy about with Gerrard going in there as manager, I do and I don't want him to fail. But if he fails and starts failing, I can't wait to see football fans attack Jamie Carragher for not slagging him off. I can't wait for this. Like, I can't wait. It's good. Yeah, I can't wait.
Why do you want him to fail, man? Why? He's a young English manager. He could eventually manage England.
Hang on. Why do I want him to fail? Why do I want him to fail?
Why do I want him to fail?
The same reason that you sing Ollie's at the wheel after every time Man United don't have a good result.
That's banter, Terry.
No.
Listen, I think Gerrard will prove he was the better player and the better manager as well, as we can see. So, onwards and upwards.
Better manager than who?
Than the two he was compared with his entire career.
But if Scholes ain't trying to become a manager, it's not really an argument, is it?
He tried and then quit the job 3 days later at Oldham Athletic.
He went into a role and decided management weren't for him. But I hear your point. Fabrizio Romano, by the way, has confirmed my news from earlier on today that Gerrard is pretty much a manager. There's two little things I've got like very early in the last few days.
I think Fabrizio, I don't know if he's on like freaking UK Wi-Fi or something, but he's very slow with UK news.
No. Look, so the new name now is Terry Romano, man. That's the new name, Terry Romano. Sorry, Romano.
Fabrizio's a little bit slow at the moment. He needs to get that petrol in that car. I was going to be honest with you.
Yeah, man, it's happening.
Yeah, listen, it's on a few little. It's a little bit like I did a little video this afternoon. I was like, Ollie is most likely to be in charge before the Watford game. They may still look to sack him if there's not an instant. And then I just saw like 2 or 3 other news articles very similar. I was like, In fairness, the guy that gave me the news told me that he shared it with about 10 different journalists and about 3 YouTubers. He went, "You're not exclusive in this." So I thought I'll get the video out quickly then and see what happens. But there has actually just been a post that's been put out here. This says Man United are prepared to trigger a clause in Brendan Rodgers' contract to make him the next manager should Solskjaer be sacked. Yeah. United believe Rodgers is keen to take the job. Rodgers is believed to have a release clause in his contract at Leicester should a Champions League club come calling. But Man United wouldn't hesitate in meeting it if they did need to appoint him. It's more and more it's just slowly starting to look more and more like Brendan Rodgers. I assume then that's going to become your 3rd favorite team because he's like the 2nd best Premier League manager in Liverpool's history, isn't he? So
no, he isn't. The second best is Benitez, and then after that there's Gerard Houllier, and after there's plenty. If you get Rodgers, I'm not worried whatsoever. I'm actually happy if you get Rodgers because I know he's going to play.
That is another chat. That is another chat for another day, gents. We will talk about that on another day. But let's go to the next pick, and I'm going to go back to Have Hope, and I'm giving you Livramento.
Wait, can you pull up the tiers and so forth again?
How the fuck is Gallagher on played well? I still don't get it.
Average.
What?
Well, wait. It's my pick, and I'm gonna put him in there. So when it's
Terry,
your pick,
give me Lukaku. Give me Lukaku, please.
I'm here for Saul. I'm here to rant on Saul. That's why I'm here. I'm here to give my dissertation on why Saul is a bomb.
What?
Average.
What have you been watching?
Explain.
Based on what he's done for Southampton, I think that he's played. Okay, so what? You're saying excellent. You're saying amazing.
Yes. There's
killing
an
it.
argument that says Livramento is the 3rd best right back in the entire Premier League.
Terry, could you please put Livramento's thing on average, please? Thank you.
It's on average. We'll move on, people, because we've got a lot to get through today. Have Hope on an absolute having a mare right now. Back with you, Curran. Curran, I'm going to give you Leon Bailey.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh. Interesting. So it's between terrible and average. I can't put him any higher than average. It's hard because it's I think probably if Livramento's average, then Leon Bailey.
No, don't.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But the thing is, he hasn't really done much. If Damari Gray is on playing well, and I think terrible, but will come good. I think so. I think it's going to have to be because I don't. There's nothing that has stood out from him. He hasn't really had a massive impact on that Villa side, and I don't really remember anything of him that's been, something outstanding he's done. Terrible but will come good. I think that's probably where I'm going to put him.
Terrible but will come good. Thank you. We have a first super chat of the show that says, Terry, is the phrase fax machine day? The phrase isn't fax machine day, but thank you very much for that guess. Remember, we're giving away a brand new PlayStation 5 or an Xbox S, whichever of the two you would like, and a pair of Cristiano Ronaldo's football boots. Just super chat in and guess the Football Terrace secret football phrase. All right, I'm back with you now, my guy Dom, and I'm giving you, we're going to start getting some of the big teams now, and I'm going to give you, should we get this one out of the way? Actually, no, I'm going to give you a good one, actually. Tomiyasu.
Oh.
Tomiyasu.
You know what? That's a good one, because I like him. He's reliable. He's not afraid to go forward. And again, the eye test. He looks like he can play football. He doesn't talk too much. I like players that just get on the pitch and let the football do the talking. So for me, Arsenal, 10 game unbeaten run? He's been a big part of that. And what are the tiers again, Terry?
The tiers, you can put him in there. Played well, killing it, signing
Cool.
of the season.
All right, so I'm going to say terrible start, will flop. No, I'm joking. I'll go. I'm going to go. I think he played well. I honestly do think he played well. He's not killing it yet. I'm not seeing him picking loads of assists. Like literally every talking about him, he needs to go to a better team. I think played well, and I think he's going to keep going.
There we go. So I'm going to move him into killing it. You said, yeah.
No,
played well.
Yeah.
Played well there. That's where he's been moved into. We have a super chat here that says, "Holy fuck, Livramento average." CFC Florida is not happy about that pick. Right, I'm moving back to my guy, the Don. The Don is here, and I'm going to give you Brian Hill from Tottenham.
Why are you giving me all the irrelevant players, man? I'm here to cause a war.
Hey, man,
We've got to get through these ones.
Terrible and will flop.
All players
matter. He's from Spain, but looks scoused. So just put him terrible and will flop.
Fair enough. Louis, I'm back with you next, and I'm going to give you. I thought this guy would do better so far this season, but I'm going to give you Romero.
I think he will be good under Conte. And I know what we were saying the thing about Emerson, he has Romero has showed me a little bit where I can be like, okay, I see something there. I see a little bit of potential there. I'd say average, but then putting him in the same thing as Livramento is it's just it depends what the scale. Are we adjusting the scale based on who these based on the other picks?
It's do you know what? It's a wide ranging scale. So it's I can't do if
Livramento's average, he's terrible.
Yeah, but I got to remember that Have Hope got to place him.
Yes.
You don't think Livramento is, so you can ignore the fact that to get what I mean.
Okay. Ignore anything Have Hope does basically when you're.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Have Hope. You haven't got a clue who he is. Do you think it's some sort of meal, right? Be honest.
Well, can we just please stop attacking my dear? Put the player wherever you want to put him, and when we get to Sal, we're gonna have a
Louis, just put him. Right. Just put him.
Louis,
anywhere.
Come on, Louis, you're standing on ceremony, me old mucker. Come on, get this done, bro.
We're gonna go for average.
Average. That's where he's been putting average. Right, it's back with me. I'm going for some of the big boys here. I'm going for Jack Grealish. I'm going in for bigger there. Jack Grealish. 100 million
Terry,
pounds.
be real. Terry's got to be fair.
100 million pounds.
Be fair.
No, I am being fair here with context. 100 million pounds rated by everyone. 100 million pounds and playing in one of the best football teams in the world. 100 million pounds and playing in one of the best systems in the world. 100 million pounds and playing for one of the best managers ever in one of the best systems in the world and one of the best teams in the world, rated by everybody. Based on that contextually, terrible start, but will come good. I think for 100 million pounds, it's been a terrible, terrible start and will come good. Yeah, he hasn't performed as good as Gallagher this season. He hasn't performed at the Damari Gray's level this season. Based on what's around him, Tamari isn't played well. He's better. He can't be there. Average, I think he's better than the guys in average. But barring Livramento, that should be higher, by the way. I'm going to say terrible start from Jack Grealish, but will come good. I can't be fairer than that. I can't be fairer than that. And by the way, he was my pick at the beginning of the season to flop.
I've got to disagree, Terry, because Man City are one of those teams where you know that when you come in, you're going to get completely reborn. You're going to go into the ocean and come out a new man. Mahrez has got to play differently. Everybody's got to come in and learn the Pep way. Grealish was the main man. He's come in now and said, okay, I can't do what I've got to learn the Pep system. So he's actually made it more of a functioning team. It's like Power Rangers. You know when the Power Rangers come together, blue, red, and they make a big flicking Power Ranger dinosaur, whatever, right? He's got to be a part of that now. So I feel like he's only got one assist, I think, or 2 goals, 1 assist, whatever. But if he was really flopping, then papers would be all over it. rival fans will be like, "Oh, 100
No,
million
the papers
rubbish."
will never be all over it because
No.
it's Man City.
Wait.
Terry,
Okay.
correct.
Do you know-
Where
do
are
you
you
know
saying
what
he should be rated then? Okay, where are you saying that he should be
Yeah, where would you-
rated?
where
I
would you
think he
place
should
him?
be average.
No, hell
No
no.
way.
So, do you know what I would say though?
No
Do you know the only
way.
reason? Do you know the reason why I don't think the? Do you know why I don't think the papers are covering it? And I believe it's not just because they're
It's
smaller
Man
than
City.
Man
That's
United.
why.
It's because Man United are doing so badly, and it's the focus.
Yeah,
I'll give you an
maybe.
example. In the last 6 games, of course, the focus has got to be on us. But people don't realize in the last 6 games, Liverpool are mid-table on the form table. But do you know?
Here we
but-
go.
No, but my point is, if Man United were flying high right now, Arsenal were doing well. If Tottenham and Man United were doing well, and you guys went for a 6-game period where you were sitting like 8th or 9th in the table, conceding 2 or more goals in 6 of your last 11 games in all major competitions, there'd be a focus. But because there's bigger problems at other big clubs, you're not being focused on. Grealish is getting away with it because City are in the title race, and he's being kind of protected by the brilliant system that's around him. We're going to get onto Sancho and then Man later. They're standing out like sore thumbs because the team's struggling for me. But I do hear you, Dom. I'm keeping him where I put him, though. I've got a super chat here, though. This is Howard Livramento average. Are we joking here? He is one of the best left backs in the league. Put him in
Doesn't
killing
play
it.
left back.
It's
He's a
total
right
madness.
back.
He's a right back. But let me just say, though, for a second. This is everybody gets their own pick. So it isn't, we're not deciding as a group where somebody goes, but you've moved him up. You can only move him up one space. So he's going to go up into played well for that £5 super chat. Thank you very, very much, my friend.
Thank you, Eric. But Eric, it's not personal. It's just
We are
view.
back with you now, Have Hope. And we'll get onto Sal a bit later, but I'm going to give you Liverpool's Konate.
Oh my god.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
I mean, like, isn't that how many games has he played though? That's the thing.
Like
In the
5,
league,
6
too.
games.
In the league, he's played 2.
Yeah, in the league too. But overall, he's played 5, 6 games.
Because I think I've only seen him play 1 or 2 games, and the games I saw him play in, he was all right. But it's like, I don't know whether it's a large enough sample size. You see, for me, the game I saw him in, he played well. But that's like one game that I saw him in. So it's like, but you have to judge him on the 5 or 6 games that he's played. So I'm trying to decide between either played well or average. I'm gonna say play well.
Wow.
I'm gonna say play well because for me it's like from what I saw, because I used to see him at Leipzig and the guy was really good for Leipzig. And from what I've seen of him at Liverpool, it's like, oh, this guy actually looks pretty good and looks like if he's carried on what he's done at Leipzig. So I'm going to say just about played well. Just about played well.
He's had 3 games and 2 clean sheets out of those 3. So you can't really
And
argue against that.
one of them, I know they're playing badly, but against Ronaldo. Like, it's not exactly bad. And I mean, Terry will vouch.
I would say
in over 90 minutes?
The reason that you guys are conceding so many goals, in my opinion, I've watched back 3 of your games today and yesterday. I like to watch my rivals. Is because Jurgen Klopp keeps chopping and changing. Stick with VVD and Konate. Look at last season. Your season was falling apart with all the chopping and changing. Jurgen Klopp, if he picks Konate next to VVD, and they play 95% when fit of the games at centre back in the Champions League and Premier League, you guys will probably concede no more than 10 goals for the rest of the season.
But the Matip and VVD
it needs to work. It needs to work.
It won't work. The problem is Van Dyke is back from injury. Matip's made out of Weetabix. Konate is a new signing, and Gomez is back from a knee injury as well. You are right if all of them are fit in a normal state, but like they're all coming back from injuries or they're injury prone, like Matip. So that's why he needs to rotate to an extent. And
I've got to be honest, Terry, I completely disagree with you as well. I think a mark of a good manager is playing players in games that suit them. So, for example, we played Konate against Man United.
No,
because he.
a
million percent.
I disagree with you. I disagree. I've never seen a team win the Premier League title with a back 4 or a back line that's chopping and changing week out.
You have to keep it the same. You have to keep it the same. Yes, you have to keep it the same.
So the reason, for example, Matip would have played against Lukaku against Chelsea is because we felt he could deal with Lukaku well. which he did on many occasions. A couple of times Lukaku had the better of him, but that was a game suited for Matip. Konate, they thought, oh, you know what, Man United like to get him behind with their forward play. For example, if Rashford's playing, he's going to get him behind. So let's play a quicker centre back in Konate. In a game where we might be playing higher up the pitch, we might go, okay, Matip's good with his distribution. Let's play him there. So I think having a situation where you can maybe not chop and change to the extent we have, but allow rotation, allow the players to play in certain games that suit them. Like, for example, when you guys played, I think, like, against City, they showed that they are slightly culpable to being hit quickly on the break. So play quick players as opposed to your likes of Jaden Sancho and Greenwood. Definitely play someone like Rashford.
No, see. I say this is football 101, and this has been from day one. Attacking players, boom, you can chop and change. Okay, this speedy guy works here, this guy works here. What they teach you in football, this is from the beginning. Your back line has to have an understanding, because as a centre back, your centre back partner, you have to understand their strengths and their weaknesses. Because the whole point of a back four is we work as a unit. If you keep on chopping and changing and so forth, you mess up the equilibrium of that understanding of the back four. So if, like, I've never in the history of football known any manager changing the defense based on the opponents. Now, for the attackers, yes, that works. But for your defense, you don't, because if you do that, you will leak goals. Because if you keep on changing my defensive partner,
he has to, though. He has to. That's the thing. You're both wrong, because I don't think when it comes to Konate, if Luis is right, then he would have started against West Ham. So Luis is not right, and you're not right as well, because it has nothing to do with equilibrium or anything. It's literally just because they're coming back from injuries. So he doesn't. Basically, this is what's happening. He can't play Matip 3 in a row. He can't play Van Dijk 3 in a row, and Konate is a new player. So he has to change.
So, guys, sorry, because we're going off topic massively on this. I do understand where you're coming from, but you're not listening to my point. If you don't stick to a mainstay partnership, you ain't winning the league.
No, I agree.
You are conceding too many
goals.
You
aren't winning the league anyway.
Well, then, but there we go. Let's move forward now. We are now with you, Curran, and I'm going to give you Martin Odergaard.
Ooh. So I'm going to say this right now. He's going to be average for me, and I'll explain why. He's not been terrible. He has been average, and I'll tell you why. So if you watch our games against Leicester and against Watford, even against Burnley, so the reason why people have been saying, oh, he's been a flop, is because he's not going crazy with the goals and assists. But what he has been able to find a way to do is when he comes on in, particularly in the Watford and the Leicester games, he's found a way to calm the game down when we've been in the lead. So if you look, for example, when he came on against Watford just this past weekend, he was able to take a game that was going a bit transition back and forth, and able to settle it down, recycle the ball in the second phase, keep it in the middle, slow the pace down, and basically kill it off. And he's been very good at that. He's basically our game finisher. I think Mikel's found a way to do that. I can't put him any higher because I don't think he's been great. I don't think he's been playing well or killing it or whatever. But I do think he has a role, and he's finding a role in this team. And I think average is a good place for him. So yeah, average for me.
There we go. Dom, I'm with you next, and I'm going to give you Ben White.
Oh, Ben White.
Benjamin Whitio.
This is Whitinho. Yeah, he was supposed to be this saving grace. But look, if we're doing Jack Grealish, 100 million smackaroonies, we got to talk about the 50 million, right? And for me, that 50 million, I could have spent that elsewhere. I would probably prefer Dunk. I'm not going to lie to you. Probably gave about 10 mil.
Now you're mocking it.
No, look, you can't really go too much because Arsenal have gone a very good run, and Ben White has been a part of that. So I have to say played well. Played well for now because he's a part of the whole team. So.
Look, can I just give me 2 seconds, Terry? Just give me 2 seconds, please. I'm just So I understand that you don't want to get carried away, and I completely understand that. It's a played well situation, but he is the main progressor in our team. He's the man that has actually been in the back line, actually shepherding our defense. He's got Gabriel, and him and Gabriel formed a partnership. He is the one who is taking the ball from the goalkeeper and taking it into midfield. He's been one of our best players this year, and to put him in playing well, I still think is. Personally, I wouldn't do it, but maybe it's biased. But like, he's been one of our he's been probably one of our 2 or 3 best signings, and he's been very, very good. He's look at our back line. Our back line is the main reason we're winning games. If it wasn't the back line, then you know what I mean. Like we're winning games 1-0, maybe 2-0. Some games like this, we're keeping clean sheets. And just to be say playing well, I think is a bit of a.
For me though, killing it, you got to have some goals in there. For me,
as a centre back.
No,
he's a defender.
As a centre back.
He is the centre back, Dom.
No, but listen to me. I've got different standards of a centre back, right? When you look at Virgil Van Dyke when he was scoring all last season and stuff, you can say he's killing it. No, not only is he shepherding. 1 second,
a defender.
1 second. Have hope. Have some patience.
Have hope. You put Livermento on average. Let the man speak.
Yeah. So for me, right, I'm talking about standards, all right? For me, if I'm saying, oh, this guy's killing it, not only is he doing everything you said, Curran, but also he's adding a goal, 1 or 2 here. I'm not seeing 1 goal. I think he's had like 5 clean sheets.
He's got an assist.
Pardon?
He's got an assist. Does that not happen?
He's still not killing it for me, man.
Real quick. So when Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Or back in 2006 for his performance at the World Cup, he shouldn't have won it because he didn't score a goal at the World Cup. That's your rationale.
So what we want to put Cannavaro in this tier list? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying. No, I'm trying to understand your rationale. When Cannavaro won Best Player at the World Cup,
comparing Cannavaro to Ben White. Is that what we're doing?
No, he's comparing the concept. The reasoning that you're using.
Dom, you know exactly what Have Hope saying.
I know what he's saying. But you can't compare Cannavaro to Ben White in the World Cup in the Premier League match.
He's not comparing them. He's comparing your principle.
Yeah, no, my principle is that to me, he's not.
Let me land. Dom, just listen to what I'm saying. Cannavaro won Best Player at the World Cup, and he won the Ballon d'Or based off of his high performances as a defender. He didn't score a single goal.
Yeah,
nobody complained.
I get that.
His points is wait, hold up. His points is Ben White has performed exceptionally as a defender. Anybody who knows football knows that when you perform well as a defender, you don't need to score. Goals is a bonus. That's a bonus. That isn't the first, second, third, or fourth thing on the criteria as a central defender.
He hasn't been exceptional though.
Oh no, I disagree. That's a different argument. But
I'm going to totally the other side. I'd put him average if I'm being completely honest.
How?
No.
How?
Listen, he is not even top 3 Arsenal signing. He's not even top 3.
I agree with that.
Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, and Lukonga, all 3 of them have been better than him.
Lukonga has been better than Ben White. You don't watch our games. Yeah. You don't watch our games.
Yes, I do.
You don't watch our games. No. Hussam. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why you don't watch our games. I'll tell you right now, or you don't understand what's going on right now. If you look at how we play, our attacks all start through Ben White. He is the one taking the ball out. Lukonga's been great, but he had a game against Brighton where he was shaky. He's still progressing well, but he's still going.
We're talking about shaky games. White was crap against Brentford.
Yeah, exactly.
He had COVID.
White has had shaky games as well.
He had COVID. What the hell are you talking about?
COVID tax.
Do you know what I find really interesting? And again, I got no dog in this argument. I'm sitting here listening, just watching. They've not slagged him off. They've praised 3 other Arsenal players, but that ain't good enough because it's like who you think the better player is being ain't there. It's like what they're not saying. 2 Spurs players and a Man United player are better. They were like they named 3 other Arsenal players, and that seems to have triggered you.
I think Ben White's played
well. It's not triggered me. I just think that the argument
or Ramsdale.
Yeah, same. I would agree. That is the reason we mentioned Arsenal.
I've got a question. Sorry, I've got a question. Sorry, I've got a question. Have Ben White's defensive performances been as exceptional as Ramsdale's goalkeeping performances?
No. It has.
Not killing it, is it? He's not killing it.
So
He is killing it. I don't care what you guys say. I'm sorry, he's killing it.
And you don't have to kill it. That's the debate.
Like,
Go on.
It's a debate, but I'm still gonna have my opinion. That
No. Of course, we're going to move on though, because I know that some people have got to go on the hour, and I want to try and get through some more of these viewers. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on these placements. Hasim, I'm with you next, bro, and I'm going to give you
no more 11.
Lukaku.
Don't give him Lukaku, man. He's
no. I want him to have it, man.
He's going to be biased.
Simple answer.
No, wait.
Answer.
Terry, give him someone else, man. He's going to be biased with.
Have hope. You put Livramento in average. Why are you trying to act like you know ball? You put Conor Gallagher in average. That's mad.
If he puts Lukaku in the lowest tier, man, we're going to.
No, I'm not going to put him in the lowest tier. I'm going to put him in the second lowest tier. Terrible, but it's going to come good. That's what I think of Lukaku. I still think.
Can I respond to that?
Can I say 2 sentences then respond, Habibi? Relax, brother. Calma, por favor. Anyway, Lukaku goes in terrible, but will come good, because we compare him to Lukaku standards. We're not comparing him to other player standards. Compared to his own standards, I don't think he's performed. In the big games, he hasn't played well, in my opinion, against City and Liverpool both. And in the other games, he's scored goals. Like, he scored 3 goals. Like, Conor Gallagher has more goals than him, even though he's a midfielder for Crystal Palace. He's been injured, so that obviously doesn't make me just overdo it. But I do think he'll come good and have hope. This is why you should let people land. I think Lukaku is going to score enough goals to make Chelsea win the league. But as things stand right now, I think you can't put him even at average.
Can I respond, Terry?
Yeah.
Very briefly. To call Lukaku terrible, that makes 0 sense. I will accept average. Average, I think, is acceptable, because he has managed to score in a team that doesn't know how to create, that doesn't know how to create chances for him. So the fact that he's even managed to score any goals in a team that is struggling for creativity, I think is still a testament, because terrible is terrible. So to say that, I'm sorry.
Struggling for creativity so much that the first game
in fairness, XG shows that his XG is 3 and he scored 3. So it's not like he's been given the chances and he's missing them. He scored the chances that he should be scoring.
Is it a fair question? Is it a fair question? Hasim just said it there. They've been more creative since he's been out injured. Is there an argument that Chelsea play better football without Lukaku?
7 goals against Norwich. 7.
If it's Norwich, it's Norwich. Like,
so what? Norwich.
It is a point.
No, but like Lukaku, if you played him against Norwich, it'd be a different situation.
Yeah, it'll end up being 3-0, and he'd score 2 goals because of the fluidity.
I disagree. I think Lukaku's been average. Like, he's done what he's been expected to do. He's scored the chances that have been created for him. The issue is the chances haven't been created for him.
So average, then. Put him average, Terry.
Yeah.
Well, I can't move. That's the Don's place. I can't do that. I'm going to Louis next, and Louis, I'm giving you Tavares.
Oh, come on, Terry. Give me someone interesting. I mean, the testament I will say is that, like, Kieran Tierney would have been rushed back quicker than he was if Tavares wasn't doing a good job, and Tavares has done a very good job. I'd say average. I wouldn't. He has played well when he's played, but I think it's similar to the Konate argument, where I don't know if he's played enough, like consistently week in, week out, for me to be like, yeah, he's played well and he's Arsenal's regular left back. I can't see him ever being Arsenal's regular left back with Tierney in the squad. So I don't think you can say playing well, but I think I'd say average. He's been average and towards the good side of average. I think he's for the money they bought him for. I think he's been solid.
I would agree with that. Average is fine, but yeah,
it's interesting. I've seen another group of Arsenal fans talk about he now has to play over Tierney.
But it's reactionary Twitter, isn't it? It's like reactionary everything.
Look,
I'm just saying what a lot of Arsenal fans have said. I'm not expressing that opinion as my own. I'm just asking.
I agree with that opinion as well.
Can I? As the Arsenal fan, let me just answer this. So, I understand the main reason I've seen anyway, and the reason I don't think we should rush Tierney back is because Tierney has been injury prone. We do need to make sure he's got a proper rest. He went to Euros. He had a bit of a break. He didn't really find his form. So Give him a break. Let him get some confidence. Tavares is playing great. Let him play. And then when Tierney is ready and Tierney is back on form, he can fight for the face. But the point is whoever's playing the best, he needs to be starting. At the moment, it's Tavares. Currently Tavares, but Tierney does obviously. I love Kieran Tierney. He was one of our best players last season. So, that's the thing.
Fair dues, right? I'm going with Ramsdale next, and I'm going to put Ramsdale in. Very good shot stopper. Average distribute. I'm going to put him in played well because his distribution isn't there. He can't pass.
Average distribution.
I'll see you later.
Average distribution. Average distribution, though. That's mad.
Oh, that was too easy. That was too easy. Fuck off.
You realize I was laughing during that. I was literally laughing. I knew you were trolling. Don't worry.
I love it.
Listen, when we're putting Gallagher and Livramento in average, I don't know what.
I loved it. Do you know, I mean,
no, don't do this. Don't do this.
Even in the comments, people are like, I can't believe that's Terry's ticket. It's like, if you couldn't hear in my voice, I was joking. You need to get out and socialize more. You have to get out the house. I'm not even picking Aaron Ramsdale. I'm going to go myself with. It's hard now with what's left. I'm going to go with Lokonga, and I'm going to put Lokonga in. Played well. I think I've actually been really impressed with him. I think in the first few games he was played with the wrong partner in midfield, but as he's grown over this sort of early stages in his Premier League career, he holds on to the ball well. Very few mistakes. The thing about when people say progression of the ball and good ball distribution, I look at decision making more than I look for when you're in a deeper role. It's not like you're a number 10 and you're allowed to make not bad decisions, but you go for those Hollywood balls, you go for those through balls, you go for those passes that are meant to try and split defenses, and you lose it. Most top creators average between 75 and 85% pass completion. Lokonga, for me, when he's got the ball in the middle, he picks the right pass more often than not. Sometimes that's sideways or backwards, but it's to maintain that possession at the right times. He's very young, so I'm going to give it, and he was cheap. So that plays into his hands. It's not like he was an 85, 90 million pound signing that has been killing it in a bigger league. I think he's done really, really well. I think he's playing well, and he's a star for the future. And he was one of those young lads that Arsenal signed that kind of got, but who's next from the Gooners in the summer, along with Ben White, along with Tavares. And I said about all of them, just very talented lads. This guy was unlucky not to go to the Euros with Belgium, and he's going to be a star. So I'm going to put him in played well. That is where I'm going to put him. Have hope. I'm coming to you next for your final pick, and I'm giving you Saunages.
Now, Terry, I feel that that you need to make an executive decision, because I think that there should be a tier below the lowest tier. Personally speaking, I said beforehand that why at Chelsea gets a guy who hasn't been relevant since 2016. But there are some Chelsea fans who don't have a brain. This thing inside your skull, they don't have a brain. In their mind, they have to defend everything Chelsea. And this is the same Chelsea fans who would have been happy to be relegated as long as Lampard, their god, remained manager. And I said, and I warned them, don't get Saul. I watched La Liga and so forth. This dude was literally warming the bench while Atletico won La Liga. Don't get this dude. This man has literally done nothing. So, in my view, I feel that whatever the lowest tier is, he is lower than that. Bomb, trash, crap, failure, useless.
You're so harsh, man.
And it's not going to come good.
He hasn't gotten an opportunity, though.
Harsh.
In fairness, his 45 minutes, his 45 minutes against Villa was.
He hasn't
really
gotten an
bad.
opportunity, man.
No, yeah, he's given enough up. Bro, the guy's washed. He's washed.
Listen, Saul Niguez,
he's not been relevant in 4 years.
He's like my ex, okay? Because I spent the entire summer talking about him, and then he went to someone else. So it's just like that. This is just. So I love Saul. I think he has the ability to produce and perform, but he's just not gotten the chance. I think.
Then why was he on the bench
for Atleti
for a whole season? Why was he on the bench for Atleti for a whole season?
Bro. First of all, when you look at Diego Simeone's teams, Joao Felix is playing James Milner football. So that's not a good measure anyway for any creative player or any midfielder or anyone.
They still managed to win the league, though. So
yeah, they managed to win the league because of the excellence of other players, like the defenders in the team, because that's what Diego Simeone focuses on more than anything else. When it comes to Saul Niguez, I think
Real Madrid and Barcelona were awful last year.
But you
Bro, Saul Niguez is a fantastic player. I think
fantastic.
As in ability, brother, ability. Based on ability, he's good. He has everything what it takes. But I just think he needs to be given an opportunity.
Can you put him in the lowest possible ranking, please? The guy.
What you want? I'm just making an argument.
I have put him there. I'm a little bit like, I'm gutted that he's flopped. I rate him as a player. I think he's exceptionally talented. I understand that he weren't being played last year at Ati, but I felt as if a change would be as good as a rest. But he isn't getting the game time, and it's a good and bad thing. Chelsea are just so stacked with talent in that area that it's making it difficult for him to get in and everything else. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be going in January as well. I'm coming to you next, Curran. I'm going to give you Aaron Ramsdale.
Top. I don't care. Just argue with you, Nans.
Yeah,
come on, don't comment.
Top. Signing the season is cool.
Let's go.
Look, I'm sorry. If you look at Aaron Ramsdale, you're looking at a keeper that is. Let's do everything, okay?
Mendy's better.
Mendy is better. I will say that Mendy is better. Let's get out of the way. They're the two. I think they're the 1 and 2 right now in the league. Has anyone got any disagreements with that?
Yes, I do.
I think De Gea. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Right now, I'm talking about on form. I'm not talking about the best goalkeeper in the league. On form, De Gea. Look at the Manchester derby.
Yeah, that mistake he made.
It would have been 6-0.
Guys, one at a time. Karen, come on, give us your points.
Look, my point is on form right now. If you look at what happened when we signed him for £24 million with add-ons that can rise to 30 million. People were telling us he's a relegation keeper. We're going to get relegated. Banter era completed. Everything.
That was, though, in fairness, predominantly Arsenal fans.
I know it was probably, but this was the expectations when he was brought in. This is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was rival fans or whatever, but the expectations when we was brought in that he was going to do rubbish and nothing was going to happen. He's come in, he's settled our back four, he's commanding the area, he's actually communicating with our back four, his distribution is excellent. He's had, I would say, the saving of the season so far against Maddison, another one against Tottenham. He's doing amazingly right now, and I'm sorry, he's one of the signings of the season for me. I disagree if you want, but he is. He is.
Colin, you're not saying anything crazy. He is the signing of the season. I agree.
He's done so well.
He's done amazingly well. He's done brilliantly well, and I think the fact, like, if we're taking 100 million into context as well, with like Grealish and Lukaku, we also need to take how, like, the reaction from fans of how everyone ridiculed Arsenal, including Arsenal fans, for the signing, and he's proved everyone wrong and been tremendous. I mean, his leadership, he looks like he's having fun with it. Like, it's genuinely nice to see. But
he's entering Leicester fans, for God's sake.
Hang on. It's a big but. It is a big but. I think that it is too small of a sample size to properly judge.
Don't say.
Hang on. I think that people have put in better. Other goalkeepers have put in better performances than him this year. Mendy, that Brentford performance, I'll be honest, was one of the best goalkeeping performances I've ever seen. He was absolutely exceptional.
Ramsdale against Leicester as well, though.
No. De Gea, it's similar to Man United.
How are we saying De Gea was chess? How are people actually saying De Gea? I do not understand.
Without De Gea, United gets beat 5-4.
I know there was a mistake against the opening goal the other day, but De Gea this season has been, in terms of shot stopping, has been absolutely exceptional. I kind of get where you're coming from, Louis. Again, obviously, this conversation is signing to the season, and he's in. You can't look beyond him for me. He's been absolutely exceptional. What I will say for Arsenal and a lot of their signings is there's a fair amount of pressure now. And what I mean by that is, and it's good pressure because they've proven that they can perform at a top class level. So now and so is the manager and so is the team. It's like being at work, right? I'm going to give a bit of advice to anyone that's employed by a big company. If you ever put onto a performance improvement plan, and you pass it because you prove you can perform to the highest standards that the company needs you to do. As soon as you dip below that, your job's at risk because you can be dismissed instantly because you've proven that you can work at that level. Therefore, now you're underperforming. It's a conscious decision from you, right? Facts, yeah. Employment law, check it out. Arsenal have proven they can perform and be consistent. They've done it in the last 9 to 10 games. They now have to be consistent and maintain this. So I think right now, a quarter of the way into the season, you look at some of your players, that Ben White smashing it for me. Tomiyasu looks amazing. Ramsdale looks absolutely brilliant. These things are great. I'm now intrigued to see how they and Arteta handle what you expected to win now. And it's a different feeling from being an underdog to having that kind of pressure put
next game
on top of you. So
the next game, Liverpool
the next game. So I would say this about the Liverpool game, and we'll obviously preview these things next week in more detail. I don't think losing that game undoes this good run of form Arsenal were on. If they get slapped and they're not competitive,
they will.
That's a different. Yeah, but I don't know if they will. I think Arsenal will be competitive in that game. They may not win, but I think they'll be competitive, in my opinion. But
an angry Liverpool is the worst Liverpool to play.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You guys, I've got to jump off now, man. So I'll see you guys. So, because just one last thing. If Lukaku ends the season as top scorer, I want a double. I want a triple spaced apology from each and every one of you haters here.
I will. But he won't because Salah will be top goal scorer.
Not even top goal scorer. If Lukaku ends the season with more goals than Salah, I will buy a Chelsea with Lukaku on the back.
There we go.
It's saved. Terry, save that. Terry,
these stay on the internet. That's done. Have hope. Top man. Thank you very much.
In the Premier League. League goals.
We're going to go through. Yeah, cheers, Justin. Thank you very much, my guy. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Sancho better be a flop. That's going to flop and horrendous. Agent 008. Come on, man.
It's a pretty quick one here. So I wanted to do Ronaldo would do first. I'm going to go to Don with Ronaldo. Where would you put him?
Oh, that is so. I think this is the problem, right? Because if we're talking about at Ronaldo's standards, he's not doing very well for his own standards. If you think about it, he's been brought in to score basically every game, and he's not. But he's scoring important goals, but he's not scoring every game. He's not assisting all the time. Oh, this is hard, man. I'm gonna have to be honest. For the standards of Ronaldo, is there one above Killing It?
No.
Killing It, signing the season, Killing It, played well.
Oh, I think between Jesus. I'm going to have to go. For the standards of Ronaldo, played well. He's not Killing It for me. He's not.
Even as a Liverpool fan who wants nothing more than Man United to lose every single game they play to beat, I think he's Killing It.
I think it's Killing It as well.
In a team that's been struggling, Ronaldo has been the shining light.
No, but all you're seeing is match of the day. Ronaldo scored. You're not seeing what he's doing for the 85th minute.
Oh no,
85 minutes of the game. Let me finish.
But he's
when
not
you watch,
one
sec. When you watch Man United for a whole 90 minutes and 95 minutes, right? Ronaldo is not the main guy. He's not got very good touch. He can't hold up the ball sometimes. His actual link-up play is not actually the best anymore. He's not that guy anymore. But what he is good at is that when he gets a chance, as you can see, he can finish a volley, he can finish a header. But for me,
the most important thing.
That's the most important thing.
Do you know what I would say though?
The hardest thing and the most important thing to do in football is to put the ball in the back of the net. And Ronaldo does that. I would say
with Ronaldo, I hear your Ronaldo standards, but Ronaldo over the last 4 to 5 years has become the quintessential goal poacher, essentially. That's what he's been brought in to do. And he's done that to an exceptionally good level, in my opinion. In a team, again, when I rate people, the reason why I get why people say Lukaku's been bad is he's playing in a very good Chelsea team. But you think about Grealish as an example, he ain't like he's playing in a struggling team. If Ronaldo had these performances in a Klopp team, in a Pep team, then I would be a bit more scathing, because I would think, like, the one thing, a pass I'll give to all the Man United players is we can't have our manager slagged off and ripped apart by everybody, and rightfully so, by the way, and say the system and the structure and the coaching's bad, but then annihilate the players. Like, you're a bigger flop for me if you're underperforming in a team that's doing very, very well than you are when the whole of Man United looks awful right now. And is that because we signed those 3 players? Not for me, like not as in them as individual players. But look, after you put him in play, well, that's where he is. I want to go to Lou on the next
10
one.
goal contribution. I was going to say 10 goal contributions in 13 games is nothing to scoff your nose at. He's for me, he's still there.
There's a comment here made me laugh. It says Messi would look like Fred in the United squad. I kind of get what you're saying. Louis, I'm going to give you Raphael Varan.
Oh,
do this properly.
Oh. Played well against Wolves. Again, playing in a team where he's got no support from midfield. Harry Maguire's had one of the worst starts to a season in a Man United shirt. Luke Shaw's been awful. Wan-Bissaka's been awful. I don't know with this one. You've got to say terrible, but
whoa.
Yes. You have a guy that is a serial winner in. If you're gonna say no. If you're gonna say no, this is your own logic. This is his own logic.
I'm gonna change it to average.
Yeah, average is fine, but
that's better.
If you're gonna say that by Ronaldo standards you have to put him in average, then why is it? Why no? I mean playing well. Sorry, if you're saying playing well for average, because. Even though in this season he's done very well in this Man United team, then Varane hasn't been available. The best availability hasn't been available for most of the season.
He played 6 games out of 9.
But in all competitions.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is average. He said terrible. I can't have terrible. Average, fine, but terrible.
I think average is generous because I don't think he has been average. I think he's been by definition he has played below average.
I don't think so. Honestly, he's been our best defenders basically most games.
I look at it. Do you know what?
You could be their best defender.
I don't think you're overtly like he hasn't come in and we haven't been as good as we expected. No. But at the same time, what you have all said as rivals about our club is how bad our system is, the structure, the coaching, and everything else. If you how good Ben White been this season in your opinion, Curran?
I mean, I was trying to say killing it.
So do you think in Man United's system with the way we play, he'd be killing it at Man United?
I think he'd be average.
So my point. So again, this isn't about individual players, then, is it? I get your point. I hear your point. It's about how is someone performing. That's why for me, I do think the Man United players have to go between average and terrible. They do. Because their performances are being let down. It's one of the reasons why I'm so desperate for us to move on from our manager, because at the end of the day, what we need is, I know a lot of Arsenal fans are like, Ben White will be a better signing than Varane. And right now it's looking like that. But if we had a world-class manager structuring our team and drilling us, there's no way, in my view. But
hang on.
We need to see it.
But then, for example, your likes of Livramento, your likes of Gallagher should be at the top of this. It's because they don't have world-class managers. Like, I think it needs, we need to apply the context of.
No, I agree.
But my point is, by Rafa Varane's standards, is he playing? Again, context taken away. Is he playing as like his average? No. Yes, there are factors for that. There are a lot of factors for that, which are the fact he had injuries and he was rushed back. Like when he was playing, he shouldn't have been playing. But I will say, you can't excuse the manager.
But Lou, I said our players have to be between average and terrible.
No, I agree.
I've agreed with you, and you in the comments like, "Nah, Terry, you can't say the system's a problem." The system is part of the problem. The system is definitely part of the problem, but you can't rate them as higher because they haven't been able to perform. All I've said is that's one of my reasons for being. One thing about this season, I'm not happy with lots at my club, but I do want to protect our players. But the only way they can be protected is a better manager coming in so they can show how good they are, or a new manager coming in to show how good they are.
Why I do think though the Man United players. If we're saying that every player has to be average or terrible, Ronaldo, I've had to bring him down because he's playing a terrible team, an average or terrible team. So for my standards, he's not there.
Yeah, I hear you. I do hear you. Final one, Curran, with you. Jaden Sancho.
Oh,
I mean, this is obvious. This is obvious. He can't be average, and I refuse because I love Jaden Sancho. I can't put him in that bottom tier because I don't think he will be a flop. I think he'll be. I think terrible, but will come good. I think that's as fair as I can give.
Yes, big man. I like
that. Let me say one thing. If Ollie stays, he'll be in the bottom tier.
Well, hang on though. So you think if Ollie stays, he'll never come good as a footballer?
Under Ollie, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, I'm being honest with you. We have a world-class centre-back at the moment who looks like Titus Bramble because of him. And do you know what I like about it? Again, there is no defending the Man United players or trying to push them up because of it. And I don't think it's fair to. But I was kind of just looking back and doing some research there. The way Chelsea fans spoke about the likes of Rudiger and J5 and Mason Mount up until January 2021, the way Liverpool fans spoke about players like Jordan Henderson as an example, even the way Arsenal fans spoke about particular players in your squad who are now getting a bit more praise now that the system's working and things are working out. No, you're doing this. No, you're doing this. It's different. Stop. It isn't different.
Terry.
Hang on. Wait a minute.
Okay.
It isn't different. Your fans wanted him gone. They basically said in a nutshell, he is not good enough. And then a world-class quality manager came in and unearthed his brilliance, played him in a position that gets the very best out of him. And Jordan